Welcome to part 2 of how to make TV promos and movie trailers. Hit it! In this section, we're looking at scene selection. In other words, knowing what scenes from a TV show or movie to include in your spots.
What did you just say to me?
It's probably the most important skill a producer can master. Now, in part 1, we learnt about the paper cut. The homework was to watch a bunch of promos or trailers and transcribe them into the paper cut format, to become familiar with what promos and trailers look like in the written form. Okay, once you think you've got the general idea, it's then time to turn the process around and start making your own original paper cut promos of programming. This is where you'll really develop your scene selection and writing skills. The end game here is to make your paper cut look like all the other paper cuts you previously transcribed, taking care to consider all the facets you noticed when you were copying other people's promos. If you're setting out to make a 30-second promo, for example, your paper cut should ultimately be the same word count as all the other 30-second paper cuts you made of other people's promos. So let's start. This time, record whole TV shows or movies that you like, especially from the channel or channels that you want to work at one day. And you can also use DVDs or downloads of shows here if you wish. What you do is watch the show and make notes about the show as you're watching. You don't have to transcribe the whole show and make one giant paper cut. Just jot down what you consider to be the key moments. The device you're using to play back your media should have some kind of timer on it, so make sure you also make a note of where in the show the key moments are. This is called logging, and it's yet another thing promo producers really don't do that much anymore because there's a quicker way of doing it with editing software, and I'll explain that later. Okay, now you should be asking right now, what's a key moment? I mean, how do I know what's worth selecting and what's worth ignoring? Well, the more paper cuts you make of other people's promos, the better sense you'll get of scene selection. You'll see there's sound bites that do all the work of explaining the storyline for you.
Let me just make sure that I understand you correctly, Commander. A group of cybernetic creatures from the future have traveled back through time to enslave the human race, and you're here to stop them?
That's right.
Sound bites that do all the work of selling the show for you.
Rita, if you only had one day to live, what would you do with it?
Sound bites that have well-known catchphrases.
Go ahead. Make my day.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're on a mission from God.
I see dead people.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Sound bites that say the name of the show for you.
What if this is as good as it gets?
But then there's sound bites that are just right, and it's hard to explain why, but when you know the show, they just seem to work.
That's my family, Kate. It's not me.
To develop the instinct to be able to select this kind of scene will require you changing the whole way in which you watch television. As a promo producer, there is a right way and there is a wrong way to watch a TV show or movie. Now, I can tell many promo producers don't know how to watch TV properly simply by their selection of sound bites from a show. When you know where to look and what to look for, certain parts of a TV show or movie literally leap out at you. Like, it becomes obvious what should be included in your promo.
We're a generation of men raised by women. I'm wondering if another woman is really the answer we need.
Yep, they're the ones.
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
These are the kinds of sound bites that should be in a promo, but very often never make it.
I'll help you catch him, Clarice.
The ones that demonstrate the feelings a viewer will experience when they watch.
It's not our way.
But it's my way.
These are the kinds of sound bites you should be choosing for your promos.
What do you think these ghosts want when they talk to you?
Just help.
That's right. That's what I think too. They just want help, even the scary ones. And I think I might know a way to make them go away.
When I'm at home and I compare the actual show with many of the promos I see on my TV, I'm left wondering what on earth made the producer select the scenes that they did, apart from being overworked or lazy, both of which, of course, are entirely possible. Viewers, they zone out when they watch TV or movies. They just switch to low power mode and let the entertainment wash all over them. But a promo producer who is previewing a show can't watch a show like a regular person. A good promo producer has got to concentrate and interpret what they're watching. It's a constant process of deconstruction that resists the temptation to veg out and be entertained. Now, this is not as easy as it sounds. Great entertainment is deliberately crafted to draw you into the world of the show. So here's how you, as an upcoming promo producer, can establish good previewing habits. When you watch a show, you need to make a note of 1, great sound bites, 2, useful visual elements, and 3, you need to make a note of how you feel. That's right, I'm saying you should actually write down your feelings as you watch. Because promos and trailers are simply ads for entertainment. And just like the best ads, you simply want to demonstrate the product to the audience, how the product works, which is how it will make the audience feel. To know how a show will make the audience feel, you have to be aware of how you're feeling as you watch it. And you need to make a note of those feelings, to become conscious of those feelings, because that's what you're demonstrating. At least that's what you should be demonstrating. Now, once again, this is not as easy as it sounds. You will find yourself drifting off, getting involved, and just generally being entertained. But to watch TV properly, you must resist. Which is why I recommend a promo producer be in front of 3 things when they are previewing and logging entertainment. 1, the show you're watching, of course. 2, the computer or the notepad that you're logging on naturally. And 3, a mirror on you to remind you that your response to a show is as important as the show itself. That is how you select the best sound bites from a show. The secret of advertising and entertainment marketing is this. Don't just demonstrate the product, demonstrate the experience of using the product. To do that, you have to be in touch with your feelings. It's all about how you feel. Whatever makes you feel the most, they're the parts of the show that need to go into a promo, and your script and pretty much everything else needs to be built around them. So that's scene selection covered. Your homework is to log a few TV shows or movies and to make notes about your feelings as you watch. Now, when you finish watching, you will probably find you have way more sound bites than you can possibly ever squeeze into one single promo. But you can start cutting them down when you start writing, and that part is coming up next.
Do you feel that? That's emotion.
I don't feel anything.